Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a cool subject for ourselves today, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. What is our cool special for today, or sell, or whatever we're talking about? Let's look at it real quick. I have a friend of mine. He was online here recently. He reached out to me. His name is Ivan Guzman. He's from another country, and even in his country, he's from Egypt. He asked me some questions about how to sell auto warranties over the phone. And I've had some other people reach out to me recently asking about how to sell warranties on phone services over the phone and to be able to add on services to their sales and presentations. So here we go. First off, one of the questions that, when you are a salesperson, you truly have to believe in your product. If you do not believe in your product, it's going to be so difficult for you to sell that particular product. And I promise you, it will not be easy, but by having the competency to believe in your product, you'll be more willing to be able to sell more. But here's another thing. If you have the capability to buy any kind of warranty, service agreement, or any of the extra services that your company has to offer, you need to go ahead and invest in those. Sometimes it may be tough on you. It could be hard. It could be a lot of money, but I'm going to tell you what, key people in the business, they know that if they own and they have a piece of skin, or they have money invested in their product, when it gets kind of tough right there, when you're having to talk to the customer and they're saying, I can't afford it, you can say, yeah, I felt the same way. And that's the reason why I went ahead and got it. And let me tell you why. See, the key to success in this regard, guys, is selling extended warranties. It's not real complicated. If you're selling a product on the front end, you kind of want to pepper it in all through your presentation. Now, if you're having to pick up the phone and call people, or if you've got a lead source where you've got hundreds and hundreds of people you can call, and you've got a captive audience, that means somebody who'll take at least the time to listen to you. You got somebody that you can sell. And if they're on that phone for more than a minute or two, three, four, five, you've got a captive audience, and it's really tough to get that. So you really better be on your A game. And one of the questions my friend Ivan said, he asked here, he says, I appreciate you take a glance at these. I've attached all three coverages we are selling as far as extended warranties and warranties. Now, with this particular company, they have a diamond, a platinum, and a gold coverage. Also, with that in mind, you can call yours whatever: gold, silver, bronze. I mean, it's all about the step up type of selling mentality. Sometimes you give customers a choice between these two, between these three, which one sounds better to you. But first off, you've got to know your warranties and your service agreements inside and out. See, there are some warranties that will cover almost bumper to bumper everything that major can go wrong. You go, what does that mean? Major, I mean, if the transmission goes out, that's pretty daggone bad. If the system as far as electronics goes out, it can be very costly. And there's so many different intricacies. Now, these days, cars aren't built the way they used to be. Now they've got all these different type of fancy cars that run off of batteries and stuff, which you really do need to know what type of products there are out there as far as cars are concerned, and you need to do your research. If I was going to give you any kind of credibility for your customers, one of the first things I would do is I would call different companies and find out what are the most things that go wrong with your car. What are the spending prices that most companies charge? And I would have about 5 or 6 different companies. And then when I'm talking to my customer, I'd have it right here in front of me. And I'd say, well, one of the best companies here in town, they're saying that this transmission, just to get looked at, it's about $700. And by having our coverage, that's one of the things that are covered. You want to talk about those things that are highly prized, that are very expensive, that can go wrong, as far as on your car, and then let them know this is the type of prices that these companies are charging. And you can also have some telephone numbers if they don't believe you. I always have these little telephone numbers if I'm telling people about warranties, and people who I can talk to about getting service work done on my car. Because see, here's some of the things they're going to say. This is some things he had. He says, I can't afford it, an extra payment right now. Now, if they've been talking to you for a few minutes, they've been listening to you. You have to create value. You've got to show that it's worth more money not to spend with you out of pocket than it would cost them to go ahead and sign up for your services. And you want to know your service warranties inside and out. You've got the gold, the silver, and the bronze. And what you want to do is you want to break it down for them based on the information. When you go to get your car worked on, they're going to charge you anywhere from $100 to a couple of $200 or $300. Say, yeah, it's broke. And what we do is we alleviate some of that pressure. And by having our service, what we're going to do is with the bronze, it's going to cover this, this, and this. Our silver is going to cover this, this, and this, and our gold is going to cover this, this, and this. And I'm going to tell you what, any out-of-pocket expenditure, if you say right now, the question is I can't afford the extra payment now, I'd say, well, listen, if you can't afford the extra payment now, do you think that when something goes wrong, and it always happens when you least expect it, do you think you're going to have the extra money just to go ahead and get something fixed? And some people will say, well, man, I don't know. I really, well, tell me a little bit. How much more? Well, tell me. And if you can break it down for them and break it down to where it's affordable for them. Now, this particular program, it costs you $200 a month. This particular one is $150, and this one is $100. And the key to success is you got a feature benefit. What's in it for them? If something goes wrong with this is what we're going to do. Tell them the key components that give you the courage to say, did you want to go ahead and go with that? Which one of the three do you think would work best in your budget? And see, a lot of times people are afraid, to give them all the information. And here, I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. If you are selling warranties, do not ever lie. Do not ever cheat. Do over exaggerate what your warranties and service agreements cover, because if you do, you will lose a sale. You'll have about 13 to 21 people get, and they'll hear from their friend, I got ripped off and everything. But let me just tell you this, if you got some good stories, now I would talk with my management and stuff and ask, who used our services? Do we have any invoices? Well, we've got Mary from North Carolina. She used our services, and it saved her over 250 it saved her over almost $2,500, and she only had our guarantee for 6 months. So she really did save out of pocket a tremendous amount of money. Matter of fact, she's still got our guarantee, and she recently had to use it. Her car now is over 5 years old, and the electronics went out. And they were talking about it costing almost $3,500, and she had to pay nothing out of pocket. So what I'm sharing with you is get some stories of successful people using your warranties, your service agreements, your maintenance agreements, and just let them know, hey, that's what's really important. And have these stories that are available. Some people make up stories. I prefer to be honest with you, because see, I stand before God and I want to be honest, and I want my customers to know that there are truly situations that are out of your hand that happen. And you've also got to talk about those things that it doesn't cover, because you don't want to manipulate the customer by lying. And if it's like if it covers bell to bell and it covers everything, but it doesn't cover tires, it doesn't cover, belts and things like this. If it doesn't cover something, you kind of want to tell them a little bit, but go back to talking about, this is what it covers. 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 Did you want to go ahead and go with that? But not so pushy in this regard. And that question was, I can't afford an extra payment right now. Ma'am, I've heard that before. Most of our customers, they felt the same way, and I felt the same way, but I needed to have a peace of mind when I bought it on my car. So by having this, I guarantee you, ma'am, when something goes wrong, and it always happens when you least expect it, you'll be a happy camper. And all you have to do is just give us a call. We'll go ahead and take care of the situation for you, and we'll make sure that you get the guarantee that'll cover those new parts for your new car. And you're not going to get stuff that's outdated. You'll get the most current, up-to-date information and guarantee. Also, the second one was, I've heard extended warranties are a bunch of scams. It's a numbers game, guys. You're going to have people, they're going to say, I don't want it. I don't believe in it. I don't need it. And those are generally the persons who are always the first people who say, well, nobody offered me no warranties. Nobody offered me no service agreements. I don't ever believe in it. And listen, guys, you may not believe in it. I ain't trying to push you into believing about guarantees and warranty, service agreements, maintenance agreements. I believe in them. I don't believe in every single one of them, but I do my research and I make sure that when I invest in one of these service agreements, warranties, maintenance agreements, that I know what's involved in it. And believe me, peace of mind, man, I've had to use warranties so many times. And when I didn't have them, it was like, God dang, man, I had to pay so much money out of pocket that I was just not happy. And I was really frustrated and felt like I got ripped off. But when I had service agreements, warranties, and services, I was so happy. Now, our third question is and that's the first one was, I can't afford the extra payment right now. Now you know why. People can afford it if they can figure out a way you can fit it in their budget and you get them in a price range that's best for them. Now, I've heard those extended warranties are a bunch of scams. Well, there are some scams that are out there. And I would probably say to the customers, you know what? I heard that they were. But let me tell you who I am. I work for this particular company. And by the way, this is our direct telephone number. This is our direct website. And you can, right now, if you have a second, you can actually see us online. And so here's what we can do for you. And we're not a scam. We're very honorable. We're very trustworthy. And by the way, you get all this information sent to you. It'll be coming to your house. And then that way you can take a look at it. And we do give a guarantee. So if you're not satisfied, you have an option to change and from maybe a silver to a gold or to a bronze to get something. If it doesn't fit in your budget at the time, we can save you still money. Never tell them that they can cancel. It's not a good idea. Never cancel. But if they have the capability, you don't want to lie to them. Can I cancel at any time? You may have, yes, ma'am. You may have the capability to do that. But most of our customers, they don't cancel. They use our service all the time and they love our service. And we very rarely have anybody who cancels. But we do get these letters of appreciation when things go wrong. Now, also the third one was, my vehicle doesn't need coverage. I'll just pay out of pocket. That's I've heard that before. I'll pay for it later. I don't have no money, and I mean, I can't. I'll pay for it. Now you got to be serious, guys. If you're selling autos, cars cost a whole lot of money, and you got to say, listen, ma'am, sir, I know how you feel. I've had a lot of customers who felt that way, and unfortunately, what they do is if they don't have any guarantee, when it hits them, they're going to have to either open up a brand new credit card with a company that's doing the service work, or they're going to have to borrow from Peter to Paul, go to the pawn shop, pay out of pocket. And it's like being broke sucks. So what we do is we alleviate that pressure by having one of our bronze, gold, or silver plans. We can make sure that when something goes wrong, because it always happens when you least expect it, there is no additional money out of pocket. And we're going to send you this information so you can look at all the things that are covered and the things that are basic things that aren't covered. Stuff that general wear and tear, maintenance, and stuff like that. That's generally, people take care of it because they're not real expensive. But where it can become really expensive, if those electronics were to go out in your system, if you had a transmission that were to go out, it's just so many different things. They're so expensive. I can give you a list, and generally you'll have a list. This can go wrong with your car. This can go wrong with your car. This can go wrong with your car. And this is how much it would cost. And these different companies tell us that this is how much it's going to cost. And with our service, it's only $200 a month. And we can guarantee you, as long as you've got that car for the next 6 years, there's not going to be any out-of-pocket expenditures. But when there is a problem, the first thing you're going to do is go, woo, I feel pretty daggone good. Where's that warranty paper at? Where's that service agreement at, honey? And then the customer, you're going to go out there and you're going to go to the place, a reputable place that we're going to say, hey, go ahead and have the work done and bill us. Now, the reason why I know this, guys, I've got a good friend of mine. He bought a vehicle about almost about 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, and they sent him a guarantee where he can get a warranty. He's a great guy. He's Sebastian is his name. He's a good friend of mine, and he bought a service agreement, and he's had to have his transmission replaced. And he was so glad because it was like $3,500, and he had that warranty. He had spent like $1,800, for the warranty. And some of these guarantees you can pay them off. Some of them you can't. They keep going and going and going as long as you have the the car up to so many years. But some give you the capability to pay them off, and his was paid off. And he had all kinds of electrical problems with it within that fifth and sixth year, and they serviced and fixed it all. He's like, Gary, man, I wish I would have got this on my other cars in the past. This really did save my life. So guys, do me a favor. If you're out there selling car warranties, service agreements, maintenance agreements, or if you're selling any product that's got service on it, okay, offer it. Be very honest. Tell the truth. Offer features and benefits. Talk about other people's situations that they may have had that caused them not to have any guarantee, and they talk about the ones who did have a warranty where they got taken care of and everything was good. So I hope this little video helped you out. I'll probably be doing another one because this topic is it's very juicy. It's a good one. And my name is Gary Lee Stanley. Give me a thumbs up. Please share my videos. I got a whole bunch of them out there. So give me check me out. I got literally hundreds and hundreds of sales videos on everything there is to know about selling. And I got a bunch of them on furniture sales, insurance, anything that's got to do with warranty service agreements and maintenance agreements. I got all kinds of videos. My name is Gary Lee. I hope you enjoyed the video. And again, thank you, my friend Ivan Guzman. He is from, what country was he from? Egypt, Cairo. So I hope you got something out of it, guys, and go out there and sell some. But if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. And today we had a wonderful conversation about selling. Okay, what were we talking about? Warranties over the phone, auto or any type else. All right, let's go sell some guarantees. All right.